Hey, I'm Jim Kielbaso. I want to give you a tip on base stealing starts for baseball players. A lot of baseball players don't really have a great routine. They're not really sure what to do when they're trying to steal bases. So I'm just going to show you how I teach athletes how to get in a good position and then how to accelerate maximally. I've already done videos on acceleration mechanics, so I'm not going to get into that, but if you haven't watched those, make sure that you go back and watch a couple videos on acceleration mechanics. It is also all in the speed and agility certification that the IYCA has, and if you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend checking it out. There's a whole section on acceleration mechanics that'll show you exactly how to accelerate optimally and how to teach athletes how to do this once they get out of their base stealing start position. Some of the keys that you're going to want to give to your athletes is a good forward lean, big steps covering ground, getting their knees up and out in front of them, and staying on the balls of their feet as they rip their arms backward forcefully. That's all I'm going to cover for the acceleration part of this, but make sure you go back and check out some of those other videos and look at the Youth Speed and Agility Specialist certification material. So let's pretend like this is their base. I know it's not a real base, but let's pretend like it is. Athletes are going to have to determine what kind of distance they feel comfortable with their lead off. So for now, I'm just going to take a couple steps off, and let's pretend like I'm okay with this lead off position. They're going to their right, so I am going to have them take their right foot and hedge it back just a little bit. What that's going to allow them to do is when they take that first step, now my hips are pretty much straight on. So if you look at it from this angle, if I turn my hips straight at you, my feet are right in line with each other. But if I hedge my foot back just a little bit, when I turn, my hips are pretty much in a good position to accelerate out of there. So you're just going to hedge off just a tiny bit. Now to get the arms into it, after we get into this position, I like to put my right arm down and out in front of me and my left arm back towards the base. That's going to do two things. First of all, if I need to get back to the base, my hand is already out there and I can get back. Some people will say, well, if you have your hand back there, they're going to know you're going back to the bag, or they know you're stealing. Well, yes, if you only do it when you're going to steal a base, then that would give it away. But if you set up at every single pitch like this, then it doesn't really give anything away. So every time they set up, no matter if they're going or not, they're going to set themselves up with that foot hedged back, one hand down out in front of them, and the left hand back. Now, what happens with this back hand is it helps get the momentum going as you take a small little jab step with the front foot. So all it looks like is a little jab step. You get the left arm ripped out there, so now your arms and legs are in synchronous movement with each other. I'll see some people try to take their arms and throw them out and then take their steps, and now they have the wrong foot with the wrong hand, and it looks kind of silly. So to get your arms and legs moving in the right rhythm, you take a little jab step as you lean forward and you rip that arm across and through. So let's go through it again real slowly. If you've covered acceleration mechanics, you essentially know you can get into this position. Your left hand would be out in front of you, and then you start running. Well, if you back it up, this is where you want to be to accelerate. If you back it up, you're just getting into this position so that when you rip through, you're now into that position, forward lean, driving the knees up in front of you and ripping your hands back. If you like a little tweak on that, go ahead and tweak it up a little bit, but I like the idea of having the small jab step that gives your arm time to rip through so that you can get your hands and feet moving in synchronicity as you're getting ready to accelerate into a base stealing start. Hopefully that helps you out a little bit and turns straight ahead acceleration mechanics into a more of a baseball, base stealing specific type of drill.